Well, welcome back to 13 on Your Side Mornings. It is 6 o'clock this morning, and we are tracking the expectation of severe thunderstorms that are currently ongoing across West Michigan. In fact, just some new severe thunderstorm warnings over the last few minutes. I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen, and some very dangerous thunderstorms, the potential of which rolling their way onshore. Let's get right to it. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in place across West Michigan. Generally speaking, we are looking at Kent and Ottawa County. That's our first warning. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, but I really want to focus on this one right here. This is in Muskegon County, and this is in place until 6:30 this morning. Notice the tagging here, the threat that's been provided by the National Weather Service. We do not see this often. This is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning with the potential of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, again, in Muskegon County. The rest of these warnings are what we call considerable severe thunderstorm warnings with the expectation of wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour. Again, all of this including Kent, Ottawa County as well over the next hour. Here's a look at satellite and radar, and we have two lines of severe weather. We have this initial line that's progressing into parts of Kent County right now, Sparta, Kent City, right into the heart of Grand Rapids within the next few minutes. But it is this secondary line that's providing the bulk of severe weather, especially in the way of these strong wind gusts. These warnings this squall line originated back in Wisconsin earlier this morning and has made its way into West Michigan over the course of the last hour. But you can see the bowing of this line, this secondary line, and that's the concern as this makes its way onshore across portions of Muskegon County. Right in here, Muskegon just to the east, around Norton Shores, for example, and this is all on your doorstep right now. And this is what we call a destructive severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service with the potential of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's one of these thunderstorm warnings to treat it like a tornado warning because we do not see that potential very often, at least that messaging from the National Weather Service. As we take a look at velocity, I want to just show you that we're not really tracking any tornadic potential with this storm, but it's all in the way of straight line winds. You can see here just north of Muskegon, as we kind of take a look here, you can see that some of the radar at least trying to indicate wind gusts in excess of at least 50, 60 miles per hour. Here's a better look. You can see some of those wind samples from radar in excess of 60 miles per hour just to the west of Muskegon Heights, possibly 60, 70 plus miles per hour. And there's enough indication from the Weather Service that some of these winds are reaching ground level, and the reasoning why they have issued this messaging of a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, we have numerous warnings across West Michigan, including Lake, Newaygo, Oceana, Muskegon, Ottawa, and Kent County. These storms are progressing very quickly to the south and east at about 70 miles per hour, and they're providing upwards of wind gusts in excess of 70, possibly 80 miles per hour. So these are some very strong thunderstorms progressing through the area as of now. Again, it is mainly this thunderstorm right in here in Muskegon County that is providing the biggest punch possibly as it comes through Muskegon, the Ravenna area, Grand Haven within the next 30 minutes or so. If this holds its strength, we'll be heading into parts of Kent and Ottawa County by the end of this half hour, probably between 6:30 and 6:45. So again, this is a very dangerous storm that's making its way into parts of Muskegon County as of now with the potential of 80-mile-per-hour winds. I want to go back and just kind of look at some of this velocity data. This is a sample of the wind within this storm, and you can really see the bowing of this storm right in here. That is the concern. Anytime we see bowing of a squall line like that, that's indicating that this storm is really bringing in some strong wind gusts, possibly mixing down to the surface, and that is our concern over the last 15 to 20 minutes. Again, this squall line all originated in Wisconsin at about midnight, so roughly 6 hours ago, and this has been making its way in a south and east fashion over the last about last 3 to 4 hours. So again, this is our concern right here. I want to show a sample of this right here. This is indicating that there could be wind gusts, nothing too strong there, but generally speaking, we are looking at that bow echo, or at least that kink in the line there, that's providing those strong wind gusts. So let's go back to radar here, and you can see that we've had 2 lines of thunderstorms over the last hour to hour and a half progress through West Michigan. Generally speaking, it is this secondary line that is providing the strongest wind gust right in here. And that is progressing south and eastward through Muskegon County, and eventually will make its way into Ottawa and Kent County if it holds its strength within this hour. So if you're watching south and east of Muskegon, you're watching from Grand Haven, you're watching from Holland, you're watching from Hudsonville, for example, to the east, Grand Rapids, Sparta, make sure everyone is inside, pets included, and if you are in Muskegon County, really treat this as a tornado warning. There's nothing tornadic with this storm, but the straight line wind nature of this storm is very dangerous, as we do have the potential of wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour. And again, the National Weather Service has put a destructive messaging to this storm. This is a very rare instance where the Weather Service will do this with the potential of wind gusts of 80 miles per hour. I do want to put a track on this storm. You can see, you can hear some thunder and lightning overhead on our studio. But these storms are racing very quickly through West Michigan, upwards of 70 miles per hour. And so these are racing through the heart of the lakeshore right now into West Michigan. Let's put this track here just over the next few minutes. Again, Grand Haven, 6:14, so roughly 8 minutes from now. Coopersville, around 6:20, so you got about another 15 minutes until this storm is going to be on your doorstep. Sparta, Allendale, Walker by the end of this half hour, and then here in the greater Grand Rapids area, at least downtown Grand Rapids, just after 6:35 this morning. Again, we have 2 lines of thunderstorms. We have this first one that's, for the most part, subsevere, but it's the secondary line. This is the squall line that we've been tracking all morning long, and it has now made its way onshore, and we're seeing a lot of power outages pop up. We've seen at least a jump of power outages from Consumers Energy within the last 30 minutes or so. Tanner, Emily, you guys seeing anything with Consumers Energy over the last 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, Blake, let's go ahead and see if we can get a look at those power outages. This is a live look at Consumer Energy's outage map, and yeah, within the last, I would say 20 minutes, this has grown to be about 8,000 more customers than what we were reporting earlier. So this is a live look again. Like I said, I'm trying to look at that outage map number. It looks like possibly 19,000 customers are impacted here. Of course, the bulk being around Muskegon County. We know we have some people without power just south of Ludington. And this is what we were kind of talking about earlier. Why do we report these power outages? Those people already know they don't have power. Well, this is telling us what the characteristics of this thunderstorm are and how it's affecting us right here on the ground.
And Blake, just warning those viewers that people in Muskegon Heights, Norton Shores, those are the people being impacted the most at this time, and that's where we're seeing the bulk of those outages, as Tanner just mentioned. I think about 10,000 in the Muskegon area, another 2,000 in the Oceana County area, and I think we're getting more breaking news in right now with conditions outside. Blake, what's the latest?
Yeah, so just looking at velocity here, had a better sample of trying to indicate what these thunderstorms are possibly bringing. Now, again, from the radar site at Ford International Airport in Grand Rapids to Muskegon, this is sampling winds about 1,000 feet above ground level. But notice that wind under where it says gate to gate shear. Don't worry about that. The secondary line where it says wind, it's indicating that there could be winds upwards of 80 miles per hour, and possibly with all the power outages being reported in Consumers Energy, it's not just possible now, it's a likelihood that this is mixing down to the surface, and that is why, again, this severe thunderstorm warning has the messaging of 80 mile per hour wind gusts. We do not see this often here in West Michigan, so treat this very, very important, or very, very seriously as these storms continue to race through. You can just see by the base of this squall line, you can see these individual almost kinks in the line, and that's really trying to indicate at least some stronger wind gusts. Really kind of keeping an eye here in the White Cloud area. A little concerned about maybe some embedded rotation right here. We'll keep an eye on this potential over the next few minutes. But again, right through here, the southern half of Muskegon County, thousands of power outages are popping up with these strong to destructive wind gusts that are progressing through with this squall line. This will be heading towards parts of the southern half, at least the south and east half of Muskegon County into Ottawa County within minutes. As I've mentioned, this is all racing very quickly. Let's put a line on this real quick just to put this in perspective. Again, this will be right in the Coopersville area by 6:15 this morning, so within the next 5 minutes. This will be moving into Allendale, so right where Grand Valley is located, same timing here, 6:20 this morning. And then let's take that out, in the Walker and the Comstock Park area by 6:25. There was just a report here at the Muskegon County Airport of a wind gust of 70 miles per hour. So yeah, these are confirmed winds. Very strong, destructive winds progressing through Muskegon County right now. Again, this is thousands of power outages popping up in portions of Muskegon, Oceana, and Mason County. Let's get back to just regular radar to give a kind of an easier look for everyone back home. This is actual radar. Besides the wind, this is providing torrential rainfall. Thousands of lightning strikes within the last half hour, 2 hour. It's one of those mornings, really take these severe thunderstorm warnings seriously, especially in Muskegon County, and this will progress into Ottawa and Kent County within the hour. I would treat this like a tornado warning because we do not see the messaging here from the National Weather Service of at least wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour. Those are very, very strong winds, and with the power outages being reported, yeah, it's indicating that the potential of these winds are coming to fruition in Muskegon County. It's one of these mornings too. I know it's getting to that time where people are maybe heading off to work. If you really can give yourself some time this morning and stay home for a little bit and let these storms roll through, very important. Of course, with these storms rolling through, you might be dealing with storm damage and storm pickup as these storms pass within the next hour. But again, this first line that came through is starting to fizzle apart. It's providing some brief heavy rain and a little bit of thunder and lightning, but it is all about this secondary line that is progressing very quickly through Newaygo and Muskegon County. And again, just within the last few minutes at the Muskegon County Airport, a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust was reported. So these are confirmed, strong, destructive winds progressing through Muskegon County. We're going to head it back to at least our view out of our Grand Haven beach camera. Yeah, these are the storms. Look at how quickly they're coming in here. You can really see that, Tanner and Emily. These storms progressing through at a rapid note, and that's kind of probably the leading edge of those thunderstorms right into the Grand Haven area. If we take a look back to radar just real quick, you can see obviously there's Muskegon County, there's Muskegon Heights, Norton Shores, and then our beach camera here in Grand Haven. So yeah, you can see that leading edge of those storms in the Grand Haven area. Let's go back to that beach camera, actually. This is one of our new cameras here. Yeah, wow, that's really changing the tune real quick. Tanner, you?
Even before, you could see where there was just some sky out in front of that,
yeah,
and how quickly that's moved across our beach camera there. And you can see frequent lightning, which we know is extremely dangerous. You know, I think a lot of people like to go out there and take a look outside when these thunderstorms are rolling through.
This is not
the time to do that, folks. This is a time to hunker down. So if you are in any of those cities, towns, localities that Blake just called out, he is saying treat this as a tornado warning. This is a very dangerous situation. And Blake, let me ask you, I think that these types of situations, they don't happen very often. You were seeing that kind of bow echo in the radar.
Yeah.
That is something that doesn't pop up often. And to your knowledge, since you've been here in the Grand Rapids area, have you seen anything like this in our area?
It's been quite some time, at least. We don't see this too often. Generally speaking, it takes these squall lines, these massive bow echoes to allow winds of this magnitude, at least on a widespread nature. At times, we'll see a few thunderstorms provide localized strong to at least damaging winds, but this is a solid line of wind coming through. This is a sample of wind right now, so we're not looking at actual radar. We're looking at what's called velocity, a sampling of winds in our atmosphere. Probably hearing the alarm behind me. That's another severe thunderstorm warning that's popping up. But it's generally speaking, it's this line, leading edge of the line, that's providing the strong wind gusts. So this is heading right into the Grand Haven area right now, towards Coopersville, heading into the Walker area. Within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Again, these storms are racing through West Michigan and they're carrying their own momentum. So that is the concern as we go farther into this morning. Guys, you want to take a good look at maybe some power outages real quick while I regroup for just 30 seconds?
We do have some updated numbers, Blake. As a matter of fact, those outages continue to tick up. Our latest numbers showing around 21,000 in the Muskegon County area. Of course, the hardest hit area at this moment, as Blake just went over. But those numbers steadily going up in terms of the number of people waking up in the dark at this hour.
I'm trying to get a look at poweroutage.us showing Oceana County. It pulls basically data from Consumers Energy and Great Lakes Energy and puts it into one map. I'm looking at it right here for Oceana County. Around 5,200 customers there are without power as well. So as Blake was just saying, this is a very dangerous situation. He says treat this as a tornado warning. I want to point out that the National Weather Service is doing a pretty good job of giving everyone some lead time. So of course these storms are coming through the Grand Haven area right now, coming south at a very fast rate. And we actually have a look at some of our tower cameras here. Of course, you can see lots of lightning in Grand Haven. Walker, the sky is starting to get dark for you guys. You see that wind whipping the Muskegon tower cam, that flag there in the top left corner of that box. And then Grand Rapids,
Yeah, it's tough because this is the time that many people are heading out, needing to travel to work at this time. And you're seeing these conditions outside are very unsafe. If you can, stay inside.
You see Grand Rapids, I want to point out, you got a lot of, it looks like very low visibility from what we're seeing on our tower camera there in Grand Rapids. So that would indicate to me, and Blake, correct me if I'm wrong, but that would indicate to me a lot of heavy rainfall, which if driving and we're picking up in the morning commute, this is not a good situation
Not a good situation. Visibility would be down basically to zero. And then on top of it, you're talking about these strong winds that are coming through. The National Weather Service has just issued a new destructive severe thunderstorm warning now for the eastern half of Ottawa County into most of Kent County. So this severe thunderstorm is continuing to progress through West Michigan. Again, we have thousands and thousands of power outages popping up here in Muskegon County, and now this is racing into Ottawa and Kent County. Allendale to the east to Grand Rapids, you can see just this line in total coming through right there. This line is nothing to mess around with. Again, treat this like a tornado warning with the potential of these providing 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. These are very strong, destructive winds. I already just texted my wife to head to the basement because, again, these are no storms to deal with, especially if you have trees around your home. These are the type of winds that could easily topple trees across the area, and we're seeing that with the numerous power outages that are popping up. But notice this strong line coming right through. It's already, if you're in Coopersville, this is right on your doorstep right now. This is heading into the Walker area. We're going to see this thunderstorm warning roll through our studio within the next probably 5 to 10 minutes. Comstock Park, Sparta, for example, and then into the Grand Rapids area, the greater Grand Rapids area within the next 20 minutes. I want to go back to just regular radar, get these warnings out of here because it can be a little messy to see. But again, we are very concerned about this squall line coming through West Michigan just because, well, we're seeing the indication of that with all of the severe thunder or all the power outages popping up. But I want to go back to this look right here. We're going to take a look at velocity again. This is a sampling of wind in our atmosphere, and you can really see the leading edge of the wind coming through right there. This is the leading edge of the wind, and at least some of the samples on radar are indicating wind gusts of 60, even 70 plus miles per hour. And to put this more in perspective, there was a confirmed wind gust at the Muskegon County Airport of 70 miles per hour. So these storms are no joke. They are coming through very rapidly across West Michigan. It's one of these mornings. If you can, head to your safe space in your house because, again, these are very destructive storms. Make sure the pets are inside. If you're out ahead of this storm, if you're watching from, let's say, Wyoming, you're watching from Grand Rapids, make sure the pets are inside. Make sure that any loose objects around just in the vicinity of maybe your front or back door are brought inside. And you really want to give yourself some extra room. Make sure you're away from any of the windows because, again, we are talking very strong wind gusts in excess of 60, 70 miles per hour. Let's go back to radar here, and you can see we had 2 lines of thunderstorms roll through. That first line's really fizzling apart. It's this secondary line, this squall line that's taking over, and it's really starting to steal all of the momentum, all the ingredients needed in our atmosphere to produce this type of wind. It is doing so, and we're seeing that with some confirmed winds in the Muskegon County area of 78 miles per hour. And again, just in the last few minutes, the National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning with the messaging of this is a destructive storm for northeast Ottawa County and central to southern Kent County with the potential of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And there's also still the potential of quarter-size hail. That's to a lesser extent. The wind is more important right now, but there is also the potential for some hail in this storm. Let's just take a look at some of the hail tracks here. Let's go back. It's also providing much in the way of thunder and lightning by far, but you can see at least in the Grand Haven area over the last 30 to 45 minutes, some of the hail upwards of over an inch in diameter. So that is of severe criteria. That would be quarter-size inch hail, just a little bit more than that. But again, it is all about the severe wind that is coming through. This has already passed Muskegon County for the most part, but this is now heading into the northwest half of Ottawa County and into Kent County as well. If you're in the Comstock Park area, Belmont, for example, Rockford, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to kind of go back in just about a little bit. I'm going to send it back over to Tanner and Emily. Guys, maybe take a better look at some of those power outages real quickly.
And we do have some updated numbers this morning from Consumers Energy. If we can go ahead and take that, we have about 35,000 customers right now from Consumers Energy without power, and a good bulk of those, I would say probably 27,000 according to the numbers that I'm looking at, is in the Muskegon County area where we just saw that very interesting bow echo there pass through and the bulk of that severe damage pass through. So with that being said, this is what we can expect coming this way. So the National Weather Service this morning doing a very good job of giving the area of Grand Rapids, the communities north and south of there, some lead time. We know that Kent County has already been placed into that severe thunderstorm warning with that destructive tag. And Blake is saying, do not mess with these storms. Do not go out and look.
He has said that you should treat this as if it's a tornado warning. He's talking winds between 60 to 80 mile per hour. So again, you want to treat this just as serious if it were a tornado, even though those are not the warnings being presented at this time. These are very dangerous conditions.
Now we can show you radar, we can show you power outages, but let's actually show you outside. If we can take some of our tower cameras, that would be great. You still have a lot of lightning in Grand Haven where a lot of that storm is passing through right now. Walker starting to get some lightning there. Muskegon and Grand Rapids, not as much lightning, but you can still, there's some lightning there in Grand Rapids. Muskegon, though, you can see just how windy it is there, and I would expect that, if not more, coming through as this line of storms makes its way down through the greater Grand Rapids area.
And those numbers continue to go up in terms of outages. The latest number I'm hearing is 37,000. Also hearing from our producer that we're dealing with several car crashes this morning. Of course, this is that time for the morning commute, and so it's definitely going to make travel for you more difficult this morning. Take it slow. We don't have to tell you that. You can see conditions outside through our tower cams, and that it's dangerous out there.
Yeah, if we can go ahead and take the Grand Rapids camera full, I want to get a good idea of what's happening downtown as the storm makes its way into greater Grand Rapids. Lots of lightning. I see US 131 there where travel is moving very quickly. Dave Cackley actually just got into the studio. He's working to get you a traffic report as we speak, but a lot of lightning in the greater Grand Rapids area. We know Muskegon still has some wind after that storm. The bulk of it passed through there. Again, a very destructive situation here as tagged by the National Weather Service. And Blake, I want to send it back to you. I understand that you have some more reports coming our way.
Yeah, again, we have a confirmed wind gusts in excess of 60, even 70 miles per hour. Now it's appearing to be tens of thousands of power outages from Muskegon County to the north, and this line is continuing to progress through the heart of West Michigan here. So you can see the bowing of this line, just a textbook indication that this thunderstorm is producing strong to destructive winds. This is progressing very quickly in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour. This is the speed of that storm in a south and east fashion. As we kind of put a track on here over the course of the next 30 minutes or so, this will be right overhead the Walker area, so where we're at within the next couple minutes here in Comstock Park by 6:30. That also includes the Belmont area, Grand Rapids downtown within about 5 10 minutes at most. And if this continues to progress in this south and east fashion and holds its strength, Holland 6:37 is the timing there, and then in Caledonia at about 6:45 in the morning. Again, these storms are racing rapidly in a south and east fashion in the nature of this squall line, and the National Weather Service has continued this severe thunderstorm warning with the messaging of destructive winds with maximum wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour. This type of severe thunderstorm warning still includes Muskegon County, but now into parts of Ottawa and Kent County until 7:15 this morning. So about another 50 minutes from now, these thunderstorms are still progressing through. And I don't want to not talk about portions to our north and east. In Newaygo County into Montcalm County, you are also dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings with the possibility of wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour. So these are strong storms making their way through West Michigan. Here's a new severe thunderstorm warning. Where's this one at? This is still just indicating this is the Kent, Ottawa County severe thunderstorm warning. Again, you can see the rapid nature over the last hour of these storms coming through with torrential rainfall, visibility near zero, and then frequent thunder and lightning. Again, this is not a storm to laugh about. These are bringing in some destructive winds. I do believe, Dave, do we have you right now with a look at traffic right now?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Right,
okay,
yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things are starting to get a little dicey out there. We got a report of a two-car accident in northern Muskegon County right now, US 31 at White Lake. No word on any injuries involved with that incident. With those high winds, with that torrential rain coming down, things are going to get a little slick out there. Had a report of a hit-and-run accident East Apple Avenue at Sheridan. Now that's just east of US 31. Unknown on severity of injuries involved with that incident, but look out for emergency crews still on the scene there. Expressway speeds starting to slow down a little bit now along I-96 and US 31. Of course, we are still dealing with construction as well. Business 196 at 31, and of course 40th Avenue between Lake Michigan Drive and Bliss Street. Crashes starting to pile up a little bit in the Muskegon area. I'll keep you updated on that and all the latest travel conditions. Follow me on the X until 9 o'clock. That's at Dave 13 Traffic.
Dave, thanks for that. And of course, these conditions outside impacting people in many different ways. Of course, that morning commute, those crashes that Dave just mentioned, and of course, power outages you're seeing from our Grand Haven camera. Conditions outside live as we speak. And as you can see, these are not conditions that you want to ignore.
Yeah, they are not. And we are looking live right now at the consumer energy outage map. I'm refreshing my screen just so I can get an accurate number for you in terms of what we're seeing outage-wise. It looks like around 36,000, approaching 37,000 in the West Michigan area from Consumers Energy. Those are the amount of customers without power at this hour. And Emily, a lot of these folks, it's centered around Muskegon County. We're talking Muskegon Heights, where the bulk of that storm actually just passed through about 15, 20 minutes ago.
Yep, of course, Blake had been showing us that travel path from Wisconsin over Lake Michigan, and now it's heading into West Michigan and heading inland as well. I think Blake has another update for us now on the latest. Blake?
Yeah, a few updates from the National Weather Service in terms of the warnings they are issuing. We have numerous warnings, so just bear with me here. Allegan, Barry, Ionia County, these are new warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. The messaging here, a considerable threat for damaging wind with wind gusts in upwards of 70 miles per hour. So for Allegan, Barry, Ionia County, this warning is in place until 8 this morning. Let's go back to the warning in Grand Rapids, or I should say Kent and Ottawa County. That does include the greater Grand Rapids area. This messaging here, a destructive severe thunderstorm warning with the potential of wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour. And I'm just reading here, we're part of a chat room with the National Weather Service. The problem, you might be wondering why you're not getting warnings on your phone. Unfortunately, there's a nationwide National Weather Service outage issue, which is causing problems with the warning system, and that's why you might not be seeing warnings through your phone. But again, another look, sirens will probably be activated for Kent County shortly. So if you hear sirens here in the Kent County area, that is because of the messaging of the severe thunderstorm warning with destructive winds. Here comes the rain. You probably can hear it. But we do have the messaging here of wind gusts upwards of 80 miles per hour. Back to the north and east, Mecosta, Montcalm, Newaygo County, this severe thunderstorm warning, considerable threat, 70-mile-per-hour wind gust possible. This goes until 7:30 this morning, and they're still holding on to that Muskegon County warning, also of destructive messaging, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That should expire within the next minute or two. It only goes until 6:30. Let's go back to radar, and you can see I'm going to clear this out here. We had 2 lines of thunderstorms that rolled through. It's all about this main line now that's stretching back from Big Rapids, or I should say at least eastern Mecosta County, through western Montcalm County, just to the north of Greenville, north of Howard City, and now extending into northwest Kent County, so Sparta. We want to go, actually, let's go to our, wow, look at that view. That is an impressive shelf cloud coming through our downtown Grand Rapids camera right now. That is the leading edge of the wind. That is, wow, textbook structure of a shelf cloud. So what's happening in here, we're having enough inflow, southerly winds feeding into the storm, and then on the backside we have downdraft winds that rain-cooled air that's spreading out, almost like if you drop a watermelon from we'll say off the top of a building, it splats out. That's what we're having here, these winds racing out ahead of this storm. Again, from Sparta back to Allendale, towards the lakeshore, just north of Holland, West Olive Township. That's the leading edge of this thunderstorm. We are going to see these storms continue to progress through Ottawa and Kent County over the next half hour. It is all about this leading edge right now that is producing very strong wind gusts. Let's go back here. Try to get back into my messaging here. There we go. Here's a new warning that just popped up again for Mecosta, Montcalm, and Newaygo County. And again, going back to Kent and parts of Ottawa County, it's that leading edge here, and I just want to give a sampling of the wind. This is a look at velocity data, and you can really see with that cutoff, that leading edge that's working right through the Belmont, Comstock Park area, Walker, for example. We're under the brunt of this storm right now, can really hear the rainfall. But this is providing wind gusts in excess of 60, 70 miles per hour. And again, at the Muskegon County Airport, there was a confirmed wind gust of 70 miles per hour. So these storms are very destructive. There's been thousands of power outages that has stretched back, and now you can hear the sirens here in Kent County. So they have activated the sirens here in Kent County as the messaging of this severe thunderstorm warning warrants that, with upwards of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The Kent County, one of the emergency managers indicating that there's 1 to 3 inch diameter trees down on 131 and West River Drive. That is a train spotter report. So these winds are topping down trees and power lines. Again, this is no joke of a severe thunderstorm rolling through West Michigan. These storms originated in Wisconsin, have kept their momentum. This is a textbook squall line coming right through West Michigan early on this morning. You can see the leading edge of this severe thunderstorm warning stretching right here along 131, Sparta, Belmont, Comstock Park, into the Allendale area, so where Grand Valley's at, West Olive Township. This is all progressing south and east. If you're hearing the sirens in Kent County, yes, treat this like a tornado warning. There's nothing tornadic with this storm as of now, but the sheer power or powerfulness of these straight line winds warrants the sirens, because we have wind gusts possibly upwards of 80 miles per hour working its way through Kent County. I'm going to take us about a minute break. I'm going to send it back over to Tanner and Emily. Guys, anything popping up? You guys seeing anything, or at least just another
as a
look?
matter of fact, Blake, we are starting to get pictures in from our viewers showing us the extent of the aftermath of some of these storms. I'm not clearly seeing exactly where this picture is coming from, but it looks like
some interesting clouds. There's cloud to ground lightning there. I know we have some pictures of trees down as well coming into the newsroom. Here's one right there in the middle of a road.
wow, a video there. And of course, we do want our viewers to take these pictures and video safely if the storm has passed and you're able to show us what things are looking like outside. We certainly do appreciate these views, but we want you to do so safely, and be sure to let us know the city that you are sending these pictures from. We know that this will be widespread spread across many areas of West Michigan, first hitting the areas in Muskegon County.
Yeah, so if you,
Real quick, guys, I'm just reading off a few viewer emails coming in. One from the Whitehall area saying that there is significant damage in the Whitehall area with huge trees down, multiple boats, their hoist, pontoons in the area that are damaged in the Whitehall area. That was a voicemail sent in from us. Again, a lot of damage be coming in. I just want to go back to radar here, or at least a sample of velocity. So this is where the you see that radar dome on the middle of the screen here. That's where the radar site is located at the Ford International Airport, just outside of Cascade Township. So this is really close to where the radar site is. This, in the last minute or two, this is sampling a wind probably only a couple hundred feet off the ground, indicating wind. This was showcasing wind upwards of 70 miles per hour. So these storms are still progressing in a very quick south and east nature over the course of the last hour or two. And again, the possibility there is of wind gusts of 60 to even 80 miles per hour. We have numerous warnings across West Michigan. This one, Ottawa County, still in place until 7:15 this morning. Ionia, Barry, Allegan County, this is until 8 this morning, and we still hold on to at least a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Montcalm and Mecosta County until 7:30, with the possibility of 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gust. If you're hearing the sirens here in Kent County, this is not a tornado warning, but the sheer threat of straight line winds of wind gusts, maybe upwards of 80 miles per hour, is warranting the activation of these tornado sirens in Kent County. So treat this like a tornado warning. Head to your safe space, head to your basement, try to get away from windows, because these type of winds will topple down trees and power lines. If you can stay inside, I know it's getting to that time, people are trying to head to work and stuff, really try to wait for these storms to pass by, because you will not see much if you head out the door with the torrential rain, the numerous thunder and lightning, and then the strong wind. It will create very hazardous driving conditions with these storms coming through. Again, we have the severe thunderstorm warning. This is a textbook squall line working right through the heart now of here in Kent County. Closer look right through Rockford, Belmont, Comstock Park. This storm is already overhead. Here in the greater Grand Rapids area, if you're watching from Wyoming, Kentwood, Byron Center, down towards Caledonia, this storm will be progressing through within the next few minutes. Same thing as we go back to Ottawa County, Hudsonville, Zeeland, Holland. This storm will be making its way overhead in the next few minutes, but it is right in here. It is where you see the bowing of this line, right into the heart of Grand Rapids. That is the main concern. And this storm, while back in Muskegon County, has produced thousands of power outages and what is appearing to be many, many storm reports. So again, this is continuing the press through Kent County, this squall line, at a very fast rate. These storms are moving at about 70 miles per hour. The momentum of these storms keeping strong wind gusts, the possibility of that upwards of 70 to 80 miles per hour. And we're starting to see some of these storms work right through the belt line here in Grand Rapids, right along US 131 as well. You guys have anything?
Let's check power outages while we have you for a second. It's quickly approaching 50,000, at least just for Consumers Energy. Let's take that live now. We're starting to get power outage reports in the Grand Rapids area. So the greater area of Grand Rapids here. So East Grand Rapids, we've got about 2,700 customers right now at this hour without power. And of course, that is just one small fraction of the number that we've seen in places like Muskegon County, Muskegon Heights, that area. We have about 27,000 plus customers without power in the Muskegon County area.
And so we're seeing many impacts from this, and we just heard a number, the latest
just jumped to 60, around 60,000.
60,000 customers in the dark because of this severe weather. If we can, let's move to our tower cams to show people just how dangerous these conditions are. We're actually starting to see some clearing perhaps in the Grand Haven camera.
Yep.
but you're also seeing that you're still having dangerous conditions in various parts of West Michigan. This is downtown Grand Rapids, where we're hearing sirens outside of the station as we speak.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, this is a telling picture of why you should not be on the road right now for your morning drive. A lot of people getting up, getting going. Thank God the kids are not in school right now, right?
Yeah.
Because this would be creating a mess for the bus drivers and the parents just trying to get their kids to school.
Put off that commute if you can.
If you can. Delay it just by a few minutes there. And if we could take that Grand Rapids camera once more, I mean, you see the rate of rainfall there.
The lightning.
We're hearing it on the roof of our studio. And the wind. The wind is going to be a big factor, especially if you're traveling along that S-curve. That's what I'm thinking about on 131 there. And we've heard trees down too.
That's right, as well as crashes. I'm sure Dave will be coming back shortly to give us an update on those. But again, we want to stress that Blake has said, hey, treat this like there's a tornado warning.
Yep.
At this time, there have not been any tornado warnings issued, but we're talking winds at speeds of 60 to 80 miles per hour. And we know how dangerous and destructive those straight line winds can be, even if there isn't a tornado.
Well, I mean, you got those straight line winds, and then all of the lightning we've seen in the last 2 hours alone. We know lightning is a very, very dangerous weather element here. This is Muskegon that we're taking a look at. Muskegon got the brunt of the damage about an hour ago now. You can see things have started to clear out there. Still some wind, and it looks like they are still getting some rain there. But again, the brunt of the damage that Muskegon saw was about an hour, about 45 minutes to an hour ago.
Which gives you an idea of exactly the path this storm is taking, as Blake has been mentioning all morning long. Started in Wisconsin, made its way across Lake Michigan, went right into the Muskegon County area, and is now further inland. This is a look live from downtown Grand Rapids. You see that camera is just covered in water.
Yeah, so what I'm being told in my ear here, the left side there is the highway going right through downtown Grand Rapids. The line of cars, very slow-moving traffic. If you are on the road right now, I would maybe see if you can pull off and wait the storm out, or these folks, I mean, they're in a pretty dangerous situation there. Again, Blake is telling us that this is something that we should be treating as a tornado warning. And also the folks at home, you should be in the basement right now. This is not the time to be out in the garage looking outside up at the sky.
Go to your safe space if you can, but you can see that traffic is moving slowly. So if you are having to get out in this for your morning commute, give yourself some extra time so that you can take it slow. And as you can see, it's already impacting traffic there.
I don't think the boss is going to be mad if you're late today. At least they shouldn't be. One more check of power outages. Consumers Energy reporting around 70,000 customers without power now. So that has grown by tens of thousands in just the last hour.
Over just several minutes.
Yeah.
So we've seen those outages continue to tick up. Let's check back in with Blake now. And Blake, you've mentioned that this is a rare warning that's issued by the National Weather Service, talking about the possible destruction we could see from this.
Yeah, you know, on a normal basis, guys, we usually see when a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-inch size hail. These specific warnings, especially moving through Ottawa, Kent County, have the messaging of destructive wind gusts, possibly upwards of 80 miles per hour. This is not issued often by the National Weather Service, so just one of these instances to really take notice to these warnings. Just putting this in perspective, these thunderstorms are racing quickly, so Caledonia, within the next 5 minutes, this storm will be overhead. Yeah, you're dealing with some thunder and lightning, some rain right now, but the actual squall line will be coming in at about 6:47, 5 minutes from now. This holds its strength in the Hastings area around 7:02, and then as we continue to press south and eastward into parts of Barry County and then along I-94. As we take a look at what's our new severe thunderstorm warning, this is just an update to the warning in parts of mostly now Montcalm County. So if you're watching from the Stanton area, Greenville, these storms are right on your doorstep, producing wind gusts of 70 miles per hour. Again, the messaging is still here in Kent, Ottawa County, really now Kent County, wind gusts possible up to 80 miles per hour. Some other reports coming in from one of the Kent County emergency managers, 6 to 10 inch limbs down on US 131 and West River Drive, so roughly in the Comstock Park area. That's from a trained spotter. Again, we've had numerous power outages continue to roll in as this line of thunderstorms progress through our area. Again, this is nothing to mess around with this type of messaging from the National Weather Service. This is not your just typical summertime thunderstorm. This is a textbook squall line coming right through the heart of West Michigan over the course of the last hour or two. And again, these storms pretty much progressing right over Ford International Airport right now. You can see this is the radar site in the middle of your screen. So this is right through Cascade Township, Byron Center. This is right overhead right now. Caledonia into the Middleville area. You got about 5 minutes before this the bulk of this squall line comes through. Yes, it's raining heavily right now, but that's not the leading edge of the strong wind gust. Again, this is a very destructive storm coming through West Michigan right now, and providing the possibility of those wind gusts in excess of 30, or I should say 70 to 80 miles per hour. There it is. You can see that leading edge right through southeastern Kent County now of those strong wind gusts, and is providing many power outages, and it does appear we're having a good deal of storm damage as well. Again, we have this squall line coming through West Michigan. This is all progressing south and eastward at a very fast clip at about 60 to 70 miles per hour. There's the latest radar loop. You can see, yeah, this has been moving quick. This is just over the last hour. Look how this has started out in northern Muskegon County and has already worked its way through Ottawa and Kent County. So our severe risk will not be long lasting this morning. This will probably be all done with within the next hour, hour and a half, but it is packing quite a punch. I'm going to send it over to Dave Cackley. Dave, what's the latest on traffic?
Well, Blake, we got some crashes starting to pop up with that heavy rain and those high winds. Expressway speeds down about 10 to 15 miles per hour, slower than normal. Got a crash eastbound 196 at 28th Street. That's actually on the off ramp. No word on any injuries there, but we do have crews on the scene. Of course, Muskegon, the big problem spot. We got some wires down at Terrace and Skyline Drive. Definitely want to avoid that area, and we're still dealing with that earlier crash. Northbound 31 at White Lake Drive, still unknown on the severity of any potential injuries involved with that incident. As you can see, expressway speeds down another 10 to 15 miles per hour along I-96 as well. If you can stay off the roads, you definitely want to do that with these storms blowing through. And again, look out for some malfunctioning traffic lights or traffic lights completely out. You treat those as four-way stops. I'll keep you updated on this and all the latest travel information on the X. Follow me until 9 o'clock at Dave 13 Traffic.
All right, Dave, thank you. If you were just joining us, the time is 6:46. We are under many severe thunderstorm warnings this morning, some with a potentially destructive tag on it from the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids. A few minutes ago, we were getting damage reports from the Whitehall area, where we know that there is a lot of damage to places and also trees down in that area as well.
We're starting to see viewer pictures showing some of that damage. We've actually got a viewer on the phone live right now this morning, Virginia Bellinger out of Whitehall. Virginia, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for calling in. Can you tell us what you've experienced as this storm rolled in? About what time was that this morning, and what did you see?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think it was about 6 o'clock. I'm not really sure, but we heard a loud crash, and our neighbor's tree came down and hit our garage door. I'm looking out at the lake right now. Our boat hoist is pushed over next to our neighbor's dock, and we do not know where our pontoon is.
Oh, wow.
Our neighbor 2 doors down, their hoist and pontoon is gone. Just lots of tree damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking at some of the pictures that you sent in, and we're seeing a lot of what you're describing, the trees that were on the ground. And surprising to me, your pontoon is gone, so you have no idea where it's at?
No, we don't. It's still dark here, well, fairly dark. It almost looks like the boat hoist is on top of the pontoon, because I feel like I'm seeing the front of the pontoon underwater.
Wow. I know you mentioned that loud crash that you heard. Was that the neighbor's tree, and are you seeing any damage to your home?
We're not noticing any damage yet. My husband went upstairs. The roof is fine. Like I said, part of our garage door is caved in. but thankfully our home is fine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously things can always be replaced, and it's glad to hear that you guys are doing
Yeah.
okay this morning. Have you heard from any of your neighbors? How are your neighbors taking all of this? Or have you seen any of them? Are they out there looking at the damage right now? What are you seeing there?
We've talked to our next door neighbor, and they were aware when the top part of their oak tree came down. Down the lake about 4 houses, I see somebody on a dock.
Wow. Virginia, can you tell us about conditions right now? Have things calmed down for you? Are you still seeing rain?
We're still seeing light rain. The thunder and lightning is gone. I'm looking across White Lake, and I see the red lights of an emergency vehicle over there. And even now as I'm stepping outside, oh my gosh, even more trees are down on the house a couple doors down from us.
So it sounds like considerable damage there in Whitehall. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with a Whitehall resident, Virginia Bellinger, who is saying there are a lot of trees down in her area. And correct me if I'm wrong, Virginia, you said you had some damage to the front of your garage. It was partially caved in, you said?
The garage door. The garage door is actually on the side of our house.
Okay.
Wow. Well,
And it was our neighbor's tree.
Again, just glad that you are doing well, and we appreciate you calling in with those reports. Again, want to let viewers know that Virginia has said they don't know where their pontoon is at this hour, and so that sounds like maybe some of the worst damage that they're seeing in that area.
Virginia, thank you so much for calling in. We want to let people know, though, that the bulk of that storm, of what Virginia was experiencing there in Whitehall, that passed through her area about 45 minutes to an hour ago. So we're starting to see what she was describing as clearing. She was saying there's some light rain in the Whitehall area at this point after the storm. Let's get over to Blake, who's tracking conditions right now in the worst part of the storm. Blake, where has that storm moved off to, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, so we're still holding on to this severe thunderstorm warning with the messaging of destructive winds here in the southern half of Kent County. This is pretty much right on the southern tip of Kent County in the Caledonia area right now. This is going to be making its way into parts of Allegan, into Berry County over the next, we'll say 10, 15 minutes. But this is the leading edge of this thunderstorm. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Allegan, Ionia, and Berry County. The messaging here is wind gusts upwards of 70 miles per hour and some penny-sized hail. So there is some hail with this storm, but by far it's all about the wind damage, confirmed wind damage. This has a history of wind damage across West Michigan. Of course, we just talked to Virginia in Whitehall, numerous damage in the Whitehall area. We have tens of thousands of power outages popping up across West Michigan. Just taking a look, this is indicating that these severe thunderstorms are coming in a south and east fashion. So Wayland, Hastings, Ionia, it is time to head to your safe space in your house because, again, this thunderstorm, this squall line has a history of severe wind damage with trees down, power lines down. As we just talked to Virginia, she cannot find her pontoon right now with the hoist damage across the lake. So this is not a storm to mess with across West Michigan. I just want to put a better line on this thunderstorm just to give some clarity here on who could see what and the timing of that. These storms are racing quickly through West Michigan. They're progressing at a rate at about 60 to 70 miles per hour. And there we go. Let's put this track here. So Wayland, 656 within the next few minutes. The Hastings area, 705, into Otsego at 712. And then if this holds its strength as it continues to push south and eastward, this will be heading into parts of Kalamazoo, Calhoun County in about 30 to 40 minutes from now. An hour ago, these storms, this squall line was in the northern half of Muskegon County, just showing the quick nature of this thunderstorm. I do want to go back and just show a little bit of a loop here. Again, anytime you see the bowing of these squall lines, like we're seeing here, that's a very clear indication that there are strong wind gusts making its way, that possibly were elevated in the storm, making its way, mixing down to the surface and producing these strong wind gusts. Again, earlier at the Muskegon County Airport, there was a confirmed 70-mile-per-hour wind. Many of the Kent County emergency managers still indicating a lot of damage in the Comstock Park area. It does appear 4 Mile Road, at least in Kent County. I don't have a complete area, 4 Mile Road and English Hills Drive. Trees blocking the road there. There's been other reports roughly from Comstock Park into Belmont, for example, of some damage. But taking a look over the last hour, you can just see how quickly these storms are progressing. This is what happens when you see these squall lines take hold. They feed off their own momentum. They feed off the surrounding environment, and that's what's happening here. Many times we talk about could the lake diminish these storms? Well, we're now at the point of the year where the lake will not diminish storms. Water temperatures are in the 60s to even lower 70s. It didn't make a difference with these storms, and again, they are still feeding off their momentum as we progress into these early morning hours. That's the other thing. We usually talk about severe weather always in the afternoon, the evening hours, during the peak heating of the day. Well, this wasn't the case. These storms are initialized in Wisconsin around midnight, and they have continued to push south and eastward now into West Michigan into these early morning hours because of the nature of this squall line feeding off its momentum, feeding off the surrounding environment, and that's why this has held its strength across West Michigan. But again, besides the wind potential here, 60, 70 plus miles per hour, this is providing torrential rain. Look at all of the thunder and lightning. I'm going to take a look at lightning over the last half hour to about 45 minutes. This is producing thousands of lightning strikes across West Michigan. Lightning is not a criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning, but is just as dangerous. Look at all of the lightning that is popping up over the last hour. Nearly 3,000 lightning strikes in the last hour, and I'll zoom this in even a better look just here in West Michigan. Yeah, roughly between 1,500 to 2,000 lightning strikes across the heart of West Michigan. So this is definitely nothing to mess with. We have numerous warnings still in place. We'll try to go around the area again. We have this new warning for parts of Ionia, Berry, and Allegan County. This is all in play until, let's get this up here. This is in play until 8 o'clock this morning with the potential of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Some small hail doable with this storm, but it's all about the wind gusts. We still hold on to this destructive severe thunderstorm warning here in Kent County and also parts very far eastern Ottawa County until 7:15 this morning, and then still holding on to a few additional thunderstorm warnings in the northern half of Kent County and then stretching into Montcalm County. You might have briefly heard the sirens, tornado sirens here in Kent County. They issued that because of the messaging of the severe thunderstorm warning. There has been nothing tornadic with these thunderstorms. This is all straight line wind, but straight line wind can do a lot of damage, and that's what we're seeing this morning. We have numerous storm reports coming in. There are tens of thousands of power outages across the area. We are now up to nearly 90,000 power outages here in West Michigan alone, stretching all the way, so originating from Ludington down towards Muskegon, now through the greater Grand Rapids area, and we're starting to see some power outages pop up in southern Kent County, just north of Dorr, just to the west of Caledonia. So again, these storms are still holding their strength to a certain degree, at least to the point where it's still causing power outages and at least some damage reports. It does appear over the last 10-15 minutes we're starting to see this storm spread out a little bit more. The bowness of this storm, or at least the kinks in this storm, not as evident, but it is still a very strong thunderstorm, a severe thunderstorm, pushing now into parts of Allegan, Berry, and Ionia County. If you're watching from Grand Rapids itself, you're watching from Sparta back to Grand Haven. If you still have power, you're still watching us. The